Welcome. I should be more excited. We're game 5. It's grand finals. I should be hype. DreamLeague Season 11. Grand finals. Vici Gaming versus Virtus.Pro. It's game 5. We got to a game 5. I never thought it'd happen. I thought Virtus.Pro were just set to lose in the last game. I thought Virtus.Pro were just going to lose straight up to Vici Gaming like 3-0 or something like that, but the boys are in it. The boys are in it. I will also note the fact that I thought they would lose was because they GG'd at 23 minutes in game 3. So I have my reasons, but we'll get into the game, load it up, see how things work out. I think the biggest defining factor of the last game's success of Virtus.Pro was their lineup. Every single hero they had, I think, synergized with each other, other than maybe like the Storm Spear, but like it just enabled them to play their lane so fluidly and just move around and use their rotations to just continuously gank and take advantage of the weaker lane assignment. So I think Virtus.Pro really just out rotated Vici Gaming in that game,
Five
in the
seconds
early game
remaining.
specifically. And Vici
Radiant
Gaming
team
were not
ban.
really ready to respond with their support combo. Yeah, I think the two supports worked in conjunction well with together, but that
Dire
necessitates a
team's
tri
turned to
lane,
ban.
which leaves your
Radiant
offlane
team
really
ban.
weak, which allows them to take advantage of it and kill your offlaner. Um,
Dire
and
team
then once
ban.
you commit to like
Radiant
taking a
team's turned to
carry
ban.
over to cover your offlaner, then you're in a 2-2 setup, and VP have more synergy with their 2-2. Like the Nyx and the Darkseer combo is nuts. It's gross. But yeah, Nyx gonna get locked out as one of the bans here in the ban phase is Virtus.Pro, I believe, have the second pick, so they're gonna opt to take the Nyx away from Vici Gaming, assuming it's gonna be their
10
first pick
seconds
here.
remaining.
The next ban out, if we're following things, should be the
5
Pangolier.
seconds remaining.
Actually, no, the ban changed. It changed from Pangolier to like
Dire team
Oracle,
ban.
as the Brewmaster is the result of the Vici Gaming's deliberation. The Brewmaster being not very successful for Vici Gaming, so I guess they're just
Radiant
trying
team's
to
turn to pick.
keep it away from Pasha. But it is pretty potent as well. We'll consider what might be contentious against the Brewmaster, which is probably just a late game carry. So denying a strong offlane option in favor of a probably what is probably going to be a late game carry. Uh, as well as just some supports that can stay farther back in
10
fights.
seconds remaining.
The Brewmaster makes it so that your supports have to play super careful. Like if the Primal Split goes
5
in the back
seconds
line
remaining.
and all he focuses on is just stunning and crowd
Dire
controlling the
team's turn to pick.
supports, then things get really hard. But yep. One of those important supports that requires space from Brewmaster is Oracle. So Oracle is going to get picked up from Vici Gaming there as it has showed up in the first wave, I think,
Dire
in
team's
every
turn to
single
pick.
game.
Radi-
The response is now going to be the Doom, as it was a pretty efficient counter against the Oracle, I think. Just the Doom locking up the target. Even if he gets false promised and even if he lives, he's still locked out for the entire fight. So not sure if that's the move for Vici Gaming,
Radiant team
but they
ban.
might they might. Okay, yeah, they're going for something tankier, yeah. So the Razor pick comes out instead of banning it. That's going to be the mid there for most likely Ori. Could also potentially be the safe lane or the off lane. It is a flex pick, so it does have a lot of potential to be anywhere it wants. But the Razor pick's going to be good for the Oracle combo as well. The False Promise allows the
10
Razor to get
seconds
into the middle of the
remaining.
fight where he wants to be without really taking too much punishment.
5 seconds
Though the
remaining.
Oracle will combo with a couple other heroes. In all likelihood, the Razor will probably not to be the main focus for Oracle Ultimates.
Dire team's
As again, in
turn
the
to
second wave
ban.
of bans, pretty obviously, Virtus.Pro pick up the Shadow Shaman since they are second pick. It's been pretty typical of the second pick to pick up the Shadow Shaman, both in the series as well as throughout the tournament. Shadow Shaman actually being a really good strong pick. Don't have to talk about it too much. It's just nice. Though I will say Roger didn't have a very productive game on it. I mean, the game he played on it, he
10
got bullied,
seconds
right?
remaining.
Maybe. I'm not too sure. But yeah.
5
Virtus.Pro's
seconds
offlane is taking
remaining.
huge amounts of punishment. So it's pretty interesting they choose the Doom so early on. Guess they assume that Vici Gaming are probably not going to try for those tri-lane setups again. Who knows, but should lock
Radiant
out the
team's
Earth
turn to
Spirit
ban.
if they're looking to play something similar to what they played in the first 3 games. So nope, it's going to be the Ursa ban instead of the Earth Spirit, as the PL is banned for Vici Gaming. Don't want to have to deal with that late game scenario. Okay, so okay, so they want to carry. Vici Gaming want a late game carry
10
that
seconds
doesn't have any way
remaining.
of cleaving, or either is kind of inefficient with Maelstrom or
5
Mjolnir.
seconds remaining.
So we're looking for something that has a good amount of single target damage. Could potentially be a troll. I can see PA maybe. Nah, I don't think PA is good. Potentially actually. Another good one is Morphling. Morphling does pretty well against everyone except for like Phantom Lancer. The most picked ones this series have been No, Morphling got picked once. Troll got picked up. Jug got picked up once. The biggest carry
Dire
is
team
Terrorblade.
ban.
I think Terrorblade's been in 2 of these games. But yeah, next ban resulting to be Terrorblade for Vici Gaming. Yeah, I mean you weren't really having too much success with it. You still want to keep it away from them because the Terrorblade in a Virtus.Pro comp could be potentially very dangerous. Because Terrorblade's one of those ones where he hits level 6 and he still has like decent potential, right? Like
10
you always
seconds
want
remaining.
your carry to come out and fight when he has item power
5
spikes, not
seconds
level power
remaining.
spikes. But the fact that the Terrorblade has kind of ability power spikes with Metamorphosis and Sunder so early on, it just makes it a decent like mid-game carry kind of. Just makes it so that he can participate in fights if he has to, but still a decent late game option, or still a really good late game option. So we'll see what the next ban is from Virtus.Pro. If we're following the meta here, it's most likely going to be an aggressive safe lane pick, potentially a Morphling, Weaver, uh, Troll, potentially. I can see the False Promise Battle Trance combo, denying 2 members of Vici Gaming from dying, which in all actuality is probably not likely since the Doom will doom one of them. Yeah, I can't see it happening. Either way, Virtus.Pro want to lock out an aggressive pick. They're probably thinking between the Earth Spirit and like maybe possibly the what else makes it really aggressive in lane? So the Earth Spirit is probably a decent like I think there's enough reasoning behind
Dire
the
team's turn to
Earth
pick.
Spirit ban. Oh no, actually it turns out to be a Necrophos
Radiant
ban.
team's turn to pick.
Okay, that's interesting. They're looking to eliminate the potential offlane pick, I guess, for the Necrophos, and therefore denying a relatively safe lane. Or a lane where he can survive, I guess. But funnily enough, an
Dire team's
undying
turn to pick.
pick for Virtus.Pro here. Pretty good hero in terms of like dealing with aggressive lineups. Does get bursted down pretty hard, but in lane overall, if you do keep up your decay stacks, you're really hard to kill and you're really good pressure onto the enemy laner. Combined with Doom is okay. I mean, Infernal Blade does max percent HP, so it's doing the same.
10
Oh no,
seconds
I think
remaining.
it's current HP. I don't know. It's percent HP damage, so either way, you're doing
5
a pretty
seconds remaining.
similar amount of damage to them regardless with the Infernal Blade. We'll see though. It might just partner up with the safe lane here. Don't know what works well together with an Undying
Radiant
support.
team's turn to pick.
So, okay, Morphling. Okay, so Morphling gonna be the pick here for Virtus.Pro. Yeah, like I said, they want kind of a carry that you don't have to deal with Phantom Lancer, I guess. Um, and since Morphling's counter is somewhat Phantom Lancer and a couple other things that have like large amounts of CC, like for example, I think Nyx Assassin is
10
decent.
seconds remaining.
Brewmaster is pretty good since Morphling doesn't really ever buy
5
BKB in most
seconds remaining.
situations until like late game, but yeah. So the response pick against the Undying is the Vengeful Spirit. See how that works out. But the Vengeful Spirit has been pretty decent. I'd say last game was a lot better at saving people. But DY made some really weird plays there. Tried to swap a Juggernaut when the rest of his team is right next to him. So you're swapping yourself into 4 members of Virtus.Pro. And then you swap your Juggernaut back into tower. But it's not even that long because it's level 1. And it's not even that good because he just spins after he gets swapped immediately. You have to turn around to stun him, and there's just no stun in time that can get off before the Blade Fury does.
Dire team's turn to ban.
A little bit messed up. But yeah, we'll see how the Vengeful Spirit works out. In all honesty, I don't have too high hopes for it. Might actually be a lot better now that we have a Medusa pick. So Medusa going to be the carry choice for Vici Gaming here, as they could potentially flex the Razor Medusa around. In all likelihood, that will probably come to
10
pass.
seconds remaining.
Yeah, I can't see Medusa having a decent lane against Doob.
5 seconds remaining.
That means though, however, that it is the declared mid and safe lane. So the off lane is going to be the last pick for Vici Gaming. Probably want to leave the Darkseer out. Like, I really don't think you want to fight against the Darkseer when they have Razor and Medusa. No, because, like, Vici Gaming are lacking a lot of damage right now, right? They need an offlaner that can kind of do damage. Burst.
Radiant team's turn to ban.
Or at least help them follow up. Yeah, so Bat Rider's going to be a choice. Bat Rider's really aggressive in laning phase. The Napalm Firefly combo allows you to be super aggressive. There's no Purge to keep the sticky Napalm off of you. So Virtus.Pro would rather have to deal without it. Makes sense because a Firefly pick would be really good. Combined together with Swap. The
10
Vengeful Spirit
seconds
is a
remaining.
pretty good option for denying the Firefly since you can swap your teammate out of Lasso.
5 seconds left. Don't
But,
freeze up.
yeah, I mean, Virtus.Pro just opt not to play against it. We'll see what the ban is here from Vici Gaming, but what is the ban here? Your off lane. No, Virtus.Pro are picking their mid laner. They could potentially put the Morph lane mid. It's not too bad against Medusa, I'd say. Like, you can use Waveform to dodge Mystic Snake and then really be super aggressive from there. Might also be Monkey King. I think Monkey King has potential to show up here. Because they do need something that helps Morphling out. No, I don't know. The way things are shaping out now, Virtus.Pro will lose in the late game against Medusa. Stone Gaze is too good for disengage. And the Oracle is there to deny the Medusa kill anyways and guarantee Stone Gaze goes off, so. Not sure how things are gonna go out here. Doom will be pretty useful though, if he manages to get it off on either the Oracle or the
Radiant team's turn to
Medusa.
pick.
But the ban turns out to be the
Dire
Pugna,
team's turn to pick.
denying that mid pick out for Virtus.Pro. As the last pick turns out to be Nature's Prophet. Okay, that's weird. So is it Vengeful mid? Right? Who knows? Actually, I'm not too sure. Because you have. Okay, so Oracle is a solid 5. Medusa and Razor are either 2 and 1. And then Nature's Prophet and Vengeful
10
Spirit are
seconds
either 3 and
remaining.
4. If we're going by things correctly, the 4 is
5
probably Vengeful
seconds
Spirit and the
remaining.
offlane is Nature's Prophet. But I can see Razor being a better offlaner than Nature's Prophet, especially against a Morphling. Yeah.
Choose your hero.
Lycan's going to be the last pickup for Virtus.Pro, as no one is the one to pick up the Morphling. So it is a Morphling mid. Okay, and that's going to go up against Nori, who has the Medusa for the mid lane. Yang is indeed that offlane Nature's Prophet. Going to be a very odd choice, I'd say. But a decent choice nonetheless. As DY again on that Vengeful Spirit, Roger on the Shadow Shaman, Solo is going to be the one on the Undying, paired together with Ramses, Lycan in the safe lane, Pasha again on the Doom. Hopefully a better game than game 2. Hopefully. But we'll see. We will see. Things are shaping out. I think the last two picks were split push pressure, so both teams kind of
10
looking to
seconds
potentially end
remaining.
things out early if they can. But
5 seconds
Yang
remaining.
probably going to use the Nature's Prophet to more efficient uses when he's split pushing, I think. Yeah, so the global teleport kind of it hasn't been brought up in this series. So it's going to be really exciting to see how Yang uses it. Yang has been pretty much on the back end so far, but it'll enable him to go into the jungle and farm, or use treants to farm instead, which might be the better option, but we can't be too sure. As we get in the mid game, though, I think Virtus.Pro have a higher potential for team fighting if they have like everyone together with them. Though I will say that Vici Gaming have a lineup that looks pretty good on paper in terms of like how they operate in late game. But it just feels like they don't have enough damage early game to create like any picks or kills or early game advantage. The DY still has Magic Missile. Fade still has the Fortune's End to use the root to kind of combine Teal with Missile, guarantee a CC. But I'm not sure. We'll see what Yang decides to opt for in terms of his build. In all honesty, he's probably just going to get Armlet, get maybe Orchid, I think, to deny, to try and kill the Morphling. I think that's the biggest choice here. As we get into Game 5 here. Grand Finals, Game 5 of a Major. You can't get any better. It's here. We're ready. The game is about to start. Lane assignments out. Looks like Ori will indeed be the mid lane Medusa. Yang gonna go out with those treants, explore his offlanes. DY is the partner to him. Paparazzi out in the bottom by his lonesome, so no odd lane assignments from either team here, it seems. Yep, really just grouping up together to get some bounty rune pressure, as is pretty typical from both teams. Oh boy, things are looking to be pretty exciting in this game. I can see, in all honesty, I think this game is gonna go one of two ways. Or yeah, I think it's two ways this could go. If it gets if Virtus.Pro get an advantage early game, they're gonna try and lock it out early. If they don't find enough openings in the early game, then Vici Gaming are most likely gonna overwhelm Virtus.Pro. Like the Lycan doesn't have the same flip push pressure as the Nature's Prophet, who also has the global pressure with his teleport. As well as just the Medusa being an overall better carry, I think, than all of them. It'll depend, though, on the use of the Doom. If the Doom manages to go on the Medusa, then it denies Snow Gaze, and it denies like any follow-up from the Medusa. But the False Promise will make sure that she gets her auto attacks off. It will, I think, disable Split Shot, probably. I don't know if Doom disables Split Shot. It should, from what I recall. Meanwhile, 2 bounty runes the way of both sides. So we get here into the beginning of the laning phase. Solo trying to show up mid for a little bit. Be a supplement to no one's lane here. See, gets a quick decay off and leaves. Meanwhile, Ramses on his lonesome right now, just using the wolves to kill these treants. Quick gold over to him for that kill. But yeah, Lycan's gonna have issues in this lane. The double range makes it super hard against a double melee matchup. And all in all, the Undying's gonna have a decent time since he has the decay to keep him tanky. But the Wave of Terror to come with the treants is gonna be a pretty potent combo against the tanky Undying. We'll note, however, the Pasha is out and about, pulling this safe lane for VG all the way around. Yep. Oh, Pasha might have made a mistake here, locked up in the trees. Gonna have to commit his teleport and get out of there, as the pull for the wave seems to be unsuccessful. He did manage to stack up 2 waves, but the goal I think there is to stack up 3 waves. Yeah, you really could have done that, but unfortunately for him, that's not going to be possible, as the pressure on the solo here mid with the treant, or top with the treants. Looks like the decay wasn't enough to keep him alive, as DUI with that magic missile to give it the sprout locked him in. Secured that kill. So yeah, if they can't kill this carry, you're just going to have to kill the support, right? DUI actually though has 16 strength stolen from him. Possibly in danger. Never mind though. So things go about their normal business. Not really too much else going on. You'll be hard pressed to find a kill in this lane here. Roger and Pasha gonna be pretty passive when it comes to facing out against Paparazzi and Fade, since Static Link has no way of being removed. Or forces a disengage to an extent. Yeah. Mid lane, hopefully no one as an aggressive mid player finds an advantage here. Gonna be really important for the Morph lane to get the one up on this Medusa. If the Medusa has a relatively safe laning phase, then things are going to be really bad for Virtus.Pro. We'll see, though. Has another kill. Bottom lane, never mind. Fade and Paparazzi managing to pick up that kill on the Roger. Oh, 897 damage full. So, looks to just be a burst. Looks like the Static Link Plasma Field combo is a little too strong. But Roger going to return promptly. As we take a look overall, tips out on Ori from Ramses. Nice. Probably just no one complaining about this lane. Oof, yeah. Snake being really potent against pretty much any laner that has to stay relatively close to the minion wave. You can commit waveform to try and like dodge it, but most of the time it's not worth it, I think. Let's take a look here. DY getting a little aggressive here in the jungle. Gonna get zoned out by Ramses. A solo potentially looking up to contest this kill. DY getting blocked up by the wolves. Nice micro out from Ramses. Even more micro now. He's got two wolves in front of him. Meanwhile, mid Ori gets picked up by Roger and no one. That's gonna go to kill the way of Virtus.Pro as DY gets picked up with the soul rip. That's gonna go 2 kills away of VP. A nice swing back as to the 2 deaths they incurred earlier. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Yeah, I mean, the more this Medusa dies, the farther he gets behind. Unfortunately, he did manage to buy his Wraith Bands before he died, so he's pretty much the same level as no one right now. Take a look at last hits overall. Morphling, yep, in the advantage of the Medusa. A couple last hits ahead. Good amount of denies ahead, too. However, Vici Gaming's off lane looking to have a better time
They're beating on Dyer's top tower.
than their safe lane. Yeah. So Vici Gaming's safe lane and off lane are both getting farm, which is what you'd expect from both ranged laners. The melee is making it a little harder to catch up, but the amount of range you have on your team is going to become a problem once that Lycan gets into the fights with everything he has. We'll see though. We'll see. Spell immunity is going to be pretty important here too, as Ram's is going to get locked out of fights if he doesn't have a BKB. Though with say, I mean, Shapeshift, if you go the other build with like Necronomicon and Hood of Defiance, which it looks like Ramses is going to go for here, does unlock you to really not being reliant on just the Lycan itself, but the army. As Shackle's going to go on to Paparazzi, trying to zone out for this bounty rune here. This route, however, with the steady link out into Pasha, that's going to be slow too. Does have Scorching Earth to escape, so he's going to be fine there. But the bounty rune's going 2 and 2 across evenly. As Yang possibly in a bit of trouble here. Solo wrapping around, coming to the tombstone for this. So looking for the kill. The magic missile out. However, the TP is there from Fade for the return on the aggression. Root gonna go on to Ramses, combined together with the Sprout to lock him in. Quelling Blade gonna break that tree out as the decay from Solo trying to pressure the back line of these supports, but the Treant block is a return fire from the blocker by Lycan. It's gonna allow the kill to get picked up from onto Solo. Yeah. Good TP by Fade. Things are going to be a little dicier for Paparazzi, though. As Roger doesn't look to take an aggressive stance here, yeah. He's worried. He's worried he can't be aggressive against him, but that's not true, right? Like, you can be as aggressive as you want against this Razor. As long as you get out of the range of Static Link, or just continue to sit in it. Never mind, going to go for the committal here. This is Scorcher to get the Inferno Blade. Not good, since you have 168 damage taken away from you. Yeah, that's 168 damage the way of him, as no one makes a slight mistake diving mid. Gets picked up there. Tips onto him. Pasha gonna get picked up on the bottom lane. A slight misstep as the Morphling overextends a little bit. Yeah, died in the river, not diving. My mistake. As Ramses on his lonesome here since the TP from Solo try to save his mid lane is unsuccessful. He's doing alright though. Oh, actually, that was Fade. Fade's coming in first on the rotation here with the supports. The supports from Virtus.Pro, however, making their TPs onto the tower. Solo, however, going to make the walk around flank and that Tombstone out. That's going to lock down 1 kill on a DY. The Tombstone goes going to get picked up from Yang, but is he going to get punished for it? No one is in the area too as well. Doesn't have waveform, but does have the strength adaptive strike, so that's going to stun Yang up for a good amount of time. Not long enough, however, for Virtus.Pro to collapse. So kills going the way of them. The skein, however, from Pasha notices Paparazzi. This DOI is going to be there to try and help secure this kill. Yep, Magic Missile going to be the only thing that locks him down for the Static Link. Oh! That was... What? The Hellbear picks up the kill, not the Smasher, the Hellbear. Level 4, 41 right-click damage, picks up the kill into the Doom. Pasha, lucky enough to deny himself the initials there, so good on him. As Noah starts to get pressured mid, no TPs available for these supports here. As things look pretty bad here for the laner. Never mind, Waveform used to dodge the Magic Missile. An excellent play. As Vici Gaming are really using... Yeah, okay, I see what it is. So, last game, Virtus.Pro used their offlane as a kind of aggressive stance to pick up on kills with their synergy with their ticks, with their hero picks. Now this time, Vici opted for a slightly different offlaner with a Nature's Prophet, but allows for much more synergy in terms of fighting and ganking. So good on them to make an adjustment here. We'll see how good Yang is doing since he only has 2 kills right now. Not too bad, but those were lane kills, so you can't really can't really justify the choices just from that. But other than that, Fade looking pretty rich right now, right? Let's see. Oh, good amount of gold there. Roger gets picked up on the side lane there. The Shadow Shaman getting a little too greedy, gets punished by the Nature's Prophet roam.
Radiant's middle tower is
As
under
pings
attack.
out into the jungle here. Pasha looking pretty dangerous here as Paparazzi does have a drum together with that Fortunes and Root together with the static link. Pushes him off the tower. But Vici Gaming are wary of the TPs to the tower. So they're going to have to play safe. DY, in a bad situation, does not get the Centaur stop in time for Ramses to stop the TP. The unfortunate part about dying is that you don't have any form of crowd control to keep people in place, which is pretty important, especially for a Lycan in the earlier parts if you want to try and get kills with the
Dire's
Lycan.
bottom tower is being
So that's
chipped
going to be an issue
away.
from them. Vici Gaming have made it so that they kind of modeled it after Virtus.Pro's setup last game, right? Because you have the aggressive laner in the safe lane who has the possibility of picking up kills and really is only able to when they can pressure the solo off laner. Whereas mid lane, you just have your late game option that's just continuously farming up. Obviously, it gets
Radiant's
contested at
middle
some
tower
points, but
shouldn't have to take this abuse.
has enough to power farm. You know, a little different from the Storm in that the Storm doesn't really. As the Storm is like the clincher in the late game, whereas the Medusa is kind of just the backline DPS in the late game and really just a huge glass cannon. I wouldn't say glass cannon. Nah. Now the Medusa talent that can give you mana is at level 20, I think, right?
The seeds of fortune.
No, you get 1,000 mana level 25. Okay, yeah. So Medusa is the jack of all trades in the late game. You got CC, you got teamfight ulti, you got DPS on multiple targets, everything you need. But question as to whether or not these teams get to the late game, as Vici Gaming look to be really aggressive with their lane pushing here. Bottom tower looking pretty low as the Fortify is committed here. Want to look for someone else to come to this lane to help it out though, as the Coconuts are the only thing left here. Yep, instead Solo going to use his Tombstone as a diversion for these little treants. Unfortunately, not going to be able to pick up the kill, but the Tombstone, yep, going to be free gold. Not sure if that was important, but free gold going the way of Vici Gaming as they pick up the tier 2 or tier 1 bottom tower, the second tower of this game that they've claimed. Yeah, I think things are not looking too good. Things are not looking too good for Virtus.Pro here. 4K lead for Vici Gaming. Lead being generated as Roger gonna be able to TP out of trouble there. Yang unfortunately not able to teleport in the trees and find him. That's gonna give some space. Roger doing his best to get some last ins so that he can get his Aether Lens, but also, you know, relieve some pressure by pushing out the lane. That pressure is going to be would have been required here though. Now as Yang to Paparazzi, that two-man group just looking for these tower kills. Virtus.Pro now actually looking for a response. Could potentially come up as a shapeshift is committed. Smoke of Deceit is available, but they do hear the shapeshift coming. Yang gonna get a nice sprout to get him on out of there, but Paparazzi and Dio are in danger. Tombstone is committed. The shapeshift is still available as Paparazzi is getting to the tower. The Centaur stopper to lock him down with a swap. Puts him in the mid of the Centaur Serpent Wards though. The false promise, however, gonna save his life as DOI looking pretty low, doesn't get claimed. But the kill goes out to Ramses using the Wrath of Nature, or he's going to be able to pick up a kill on the Roger. No one's going to be here in the back of the fight trying to pick up Yang, as Solo does not die. Eventually does die, however, to the Purifying Flames. Doom's going to go out onto the Medusa to make sure that they guarantee the kill on the Fade. And the Magic Missile with the Morph from no one on the Medusa potentially can mean another kill for them. Instead, the burst there from the Plasma Field from the Razor is going to deny that and get a pill on the Pasha. No one now still in a bit of trouble here as a static link on him as well. Doesn't have enough strength to morph to, and he's going to fall as well. The Medusa barely makes it out. That's so tragic. They wasted the off lane's life and the mid laner's life to try and kill the Medusa, and they didn't kill him. That is the worst possible scenario for Virtus.Pro, I think, there. And that unfortunately came to pass, yeah. Ramses with a little bit of an early shapeshift. I honestly thought it was probably better to get it off like maybe around here. But Vici Gaming did also get the tower a little earlier than VP expected, so pushed up their schedule a little bit. Not too mad about how things worked out for Virtus.Pro in the beginning, but the end was a little messy. Yeah, things are getting worse and worse for Virtus.Pro, but they've been in this situation before. albeit they've only managed to crawl out of this hole once in this whole best of 5 series. But they can do it. They can do it. I believe. The other game they won was just the game 4. They just completely destroyed them before 40 minutes. 23k gold lead, by the way, to them in that game. But yeah, it'll be. I'm kind of anxious. I don't think Virtus.Pro have a better late game than Vici Gaming, and I don't think they execute on late game better than Vici Gaming. I can't be too sure. It'll depend upon the team dynamic. With the Morphling, it's not really a good late game option. The Lycan really doesn't do well against the Medusa. Plus the Sprout is a good tool for locking Lycans down. All in all, things are going to get really messy. I'd say VP really need to start getting their lead now. Like you have an earlier power spike than the enemy team. Yeah, they're gonna go for the objectives here. As the Wrath of Nature is trying to eliminate the wave, fortunately doesn't bounce enough to destroy the whole wave. But Yang gonna be here with his treants to try and stop things. The Serpent Ward's gonna be a little distracted, but working on pushing down this lane, so that's gonna be option for them. It's gonna give a lot of time for Vici Gaming to make their decision though, as they attempt to collapse on the mid lane. No one actually looking for potential kill on the paparazzi. Gonna walk straight onto him. The Adapter Strike gonna come out of him with a static link and the plasma field. Gonna come out on a paparazzi's. The waveform tried to keep him in range. False promise there, however, today with the Sprout from Yang and Yang and Fade. Gonna deny that kill. As 5 members of Vici Gaming are topside. 2 members of Virtus.Pro TP to try and cover as they pick up the bottom tier 1. So not bad for Virtus.Pro overall, but a little dangerous, risking no one there potentially. Solo is mid, smoked up, as is Basha. But yeah, I mean, they still need a farm. Of course, Vici Gaming, or Virtus.Pro need to get back in this game. Doom needs to get Midas now in order for him to be relevant later. Morphling needs his Manta now in order to do well. And the Lycan needs Lycan doesn't need too much. He's split pushing now. Ramsey's out onto Yang. Has a Centaur for the stun to deny the TP. Gonna stay in range so that the Sprout doesn't lock him out, but the strength is used. That's gonna be the slam from the Centaur, unavailable to stop the TP. The TP is being channeled now as it is successful. Shapeshift and Tombstone wasted, along with Necro Book cooldown wasted in order to try and kill Yang, and they're unsuccessful. A slight misstep from Ramsey's missing out on that Centaur stomp, but yeah, I think you were a little too early for that. You could have just had the Centaur, selected him, you know, just grab the Centaur. Where is he? Just do this, click, and then you use your right click, click that position 3 treant, or click that Nature's Prophet, and that Centaur will stick to him like glue. And then all you need to do is when he's channeling TP, you click the Centaur again, you press the stun button, and he stuns him. I don't know. Seemed like pretty simple execution, but Ramsey's pulling the trigger a little too early. That, however, is going to give Vici Gaming enough space to try and attempt this Roshan here with the Nature's Prophet. The pings are going out, however, on the high ground. Virtus.Pro are aware of what's happening. Do spot the Roshan out now at potentially low HP. Yep, Centaur going to spot him out. Shapeshift is not available, nor is Flesh Golem. So Virtus.Pro want to wait for Shapeshift. Don't have to wait for Flesh Golem, but Tombstone is the cooldown they should wait for. Has 60 seconds left on the clock. Roshan is going to be tempted again as Pasha, or nope, the Wolves from Ramsey is going to spot it out. Roshan's too low. Ishan is going to get claimed by Paparazzi. Here's the fight starts. Pasha in the bad position on the high ground. The rest of his team is split off by the Sprout. Stonegez is going to allow them to pick up that first kill on the Pasha. Serpent Ward's committed here as DUI in a bit of a potential situation, as is Paparazzi, but the False Promise is going to save him. Interesting left in user to save DUI. Serpent Ward's pick him up. False Promise, though, going to allow Paparazzi to run out onto the Shadow Shaman. And the heal's there. TP out from Yang, try and catch up on more kills as no one's trying to split Paparazzi off of his carry. Kill going to get claimed by Paparazzi there as no one now in a bit of trouble here. Plasma Field combined together with the Fortune's End is going to lock him up, but not enough for them to pick up the kill. Wow. 3 kills the way of Vici Gaming, 1 kill the way of Virtus.Pro. No other kills out as Ramses takes another big hit to his gold. Doesn't have level 3 Necro just yet. That's level 2 up right now. So level 3 will be useful later in order to establish vision and such. We'll probably see a medallion too from him if he chooses to do so, but BKB will also probably be a likely choice as well. The Medusa, however, is going to be a really good choice against a shapeshifted army. Split shot really being super effective. If they want, if VP want to get a fight in, Pasha's gonna have to get a Doom out onto that Medusa. They can't risk having Stone Gaze be so potent at splitting up their team. But yeah, we'll see how things go. The Mana Shield, what? Oh, yeah. I mean, Stone Gaze is coming up soon. Morph is the only thing down on Virtus.Pro, so Virtus.Pro are pretty much ready to fight unless they need an item spike. Looks like Roger has Serpent Wards in 30 seconds, so they're gonna play around that mostly. But they have to be careful so that they don't fight before that and lose the opportunity to use it. Ramsey's now with the rest of his team. No one going to be the one split pushing you off to the sides. The CP's committed here. Flesh Golem activated as well. Shapeshift fight starts out. Pasha's swapped out. Static Link, but the Doom out on to Paparazzi. That's going to kill Pasha almost immediately though. Yang on the backline gets the False Promise out onto him as the Stone Gaze for the disengage. A quick TP from the Medusa, and all is well in the world. Virtus.Pro, nothing else they can do here. You literally lose the Stone Gaze every single time. Stone Gaze pierces BKB. The Medusa is just in the middle of the fight. He's activated Stone Gaze. You just too many people trying to have to micro around the little, oh, am I facing the Medusa? Am I not facing the Medusa thing? It's dumb. I don't like it. Like, it'd be cool if the Stone Gaze was like more intuitive, but it basically just disables anyone from like facing you. So if your whole team is just stuck together, no one can go on you. There's no counterplay to it. Like what? You could get the Vengeful Spirit and swap, but I digress. VG Gaming here at tier 3. Got the first tier 3 mid down. 19 minutes, 20 minutes now, as they're about to break the first melee racks of the game. Record time, by the way. As that first racks goes down. VG Gaming going to be content with leaving now, as they go to collect up on those bounty runes. No one going to try to walk up into the bottom dire jungle here for some farm. Well, that's it. Oy, 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 oy. Virtus.Pro. These are not looking too good for you. Yeah, the gap is widening so much that it's becoming harder and harder for Virtus.Pro really to do anything. The Morphling has become completely useless at this point, right? Like, the Morphling has more use out of him with Morph than, like, anything else. This hero is better off as a different hero. How sad is that?
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I mean, he's using it creatively. The Morph is, I mean... But it's just like the Morphling has no place here. I don't know why you would draft it. You saw how useless Paparazzi's Morphling was. It was just Shotgun Morphling that tried to burst down a support and wasn't able to burst it after the 15 or 20 minute mark. You know, Bracers being the real thing that denies the kill. I digress. You could see a better Morphling performance here later in the game, but in all honesty, I think Virtus.Pro are in dire straits here, looking for a potential flank on the high ground though, as they're all smoked up. Solo's the only one spotted. Here's Ramses, Pasha, and Roger on the flank. Shapeshift could be really good here if they get a good Doom out onto the Oracle. Should be nice if they want to be able to try and initiate this fight. Shapeshift is committed, as does Flesh Golem. Bit of situation here. Solo gets in the middle of them. Serpent Ward's committed, however, on to DY. Oh, no, that's actually Fade. Fade's going to be in trouble, but never mind. It's Stone Gaze. Looks like he can't engage Virtus.Pro. So that's going to be Shapeshift committed. That's going to be Flesh Golem committed. That's going to be Serpent Ward's committed. And that's going to be game. Virtus.Pro. Oh, unfortunate, but Vici Gaming are going to be your champions here for the Stockholm Major, DreamLeague Season 11, a trophy for the boys. As a pretty surprising game, best of 5 here, and a pretty surprising game overall. I won't deliberate on it too much. Can't really say much else other than Vici Gaming had a very convincing early game, and really snowballed it out. Really able to fine-tune their early game strategy and pull out ahead of Virtus.Pro. So that's gonna be this best of 5 grand final series. I appreciate you guys watching, and that's also gonna conclude my whole little project here for coverage on the all these games here in the winners bracket. If you've been following, I appreciate you watching. If you're just now tuning in, I appreciate you watching. If you want to watch more, feel free to subscribe to my channel. But yeah, hopefully I'll be able to put out more content soon. Thanks for everything, guys. I'll see you later. Peace.